Hi everyone, so yes, we're coming up to the Christmas period now, aren't we? So I thought I'd make some really easy, simple to make little Christmas tree earrings. This is the first of a set of 4 that I'm going to show you. I might just put it in 2 separate videos just to make life a bit easier, but these are the first ones we're going to make together. Little stylized spiral Christmas tree earrings. They've been made by lots of different people, but I just thought I'd show you my way of doing them. So today we're going to make these bright green ones, okay, with gold and red seed beads. You can use whatever beads you like. I thought it's quite traditional: gold, silver, red, blue, whatever. So I'm going to go through a list of materials to make these cute little guys, okay? So we'll just pop these up here. So first thing you're going to need obviously is some wire. So for today's video I'm going to be using 20 gauge or 0.8 millimeter. This is the artistic wire. It's a bit more malleable than the half hard copper, which is perfect for our needs today because we're going to be making a spiral, okay? So this is your wire. Obviously you're going to be needing a ruler to measure out your wire. You'll also need a good pair of flush cutters, as usual suspects I call them. A decent pair of chain nose pliers, so whichever you've got in your stash. And you're also going to need a pair of round nose pliers, okay? They don't have to be the best quality. You're just literally going to be making a spiral with these, so you only use these to make the little spiral loops at the bottom and at the top, okay? So a pair of those. And you're also going to need some seed beads. My best advice for the main part of the tree is to use 11Os. Now I know you've got those in your stash because we all do, don't we? So here's the 11Os. I'm using this really bright green. Okay. I'm also going to be using, because I'm using gold wire, I'm going to be using 8O gold tone seed beads for the baubles. Okay. And I'm also going to be using 8O red, silver lined actually, but or you could get copper lined or gold lined, just so they've got a little bit of sheen in them. But again, use whatever you've got in your stash. So I'm going to be using those ones as well. And that's all you need. It's a really simple project. Very good for the beginner. So I'm just going to clear the table away and we'll get started. Okay. Okay, so these are the measurements that I've found make this earring, which measures well, from the ear around 2 inches, 5 centimeters. You can make them as long or as dumpy as you like, so that's entirely up to you, but these are the measurements that I have used for this particular one. Okay, so if we take our wire, I've used approximately 20 centimeters, just short of 8 inches. Okay, so it doesn't have to be exact with this, but if you want both to match, then obviously make sure that both sides match. So you chop off your wire, okay, and give it a little bit of a straighten. Okay, so this is when we bring in our round nose pliers. So we're going to be making a tiny spiral to start with. Okay, so you take your round nose pliers and pop your wire right in the very tip and start to make a spiral. So we know how to make spirals. Okay, so this is what we start with. And then I come in with my chain nose pliers and just literally start making a spiral. So you just bend the wire around, grasping very lightly with your chain nose just to give it some stability, and just wind and wind the spiral around. Keep going until it's a nice flat spiral. As you can see here, okay, we just continue around, just manipulating the wire. You are going to be pulling this spiral out, so don't worry too much about its neatness, but you know, keep it as neat as you can. You can actually buy forms like pyramids, or you know, cones should I say, from online suppliers, but you know what, I like to spend as little money as possible so I can spend more money on beads and things like that. Okay, so if you've got these cone shaped forms, then obviously wind it around the form, and that's absolutely fine. You want to stop when you've got about, let's measure, I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of the spiral. That gives you enough space to create your little spiral at the bottom of the tree. Okay, so stop about here. Okay, so this is what we have. Little spiral. Okay, then come back in with your round nose pliers, and what you need to do is pop your spiral on top of your round nose, and this is where we start to very gently manipulate and push. As you can see here, I'm just pushing very gently downwards. Just start to manipulate this wire as far as it'll go, which is about there. So you look like you've got a little gnome hat here to start with. So what we need to do now is very gently start to manipulate this wire. Very gently, and start pulling it out. Pulling it out. Okay, so as you can see here, we're just lengthening the spiral as we go. Okay, very gently. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, because when you get the beads on, you can manipulate it a little bit more. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that we're looking for. Okay, so it's just gently pulled out. Okay, you can make it more elongated if you like a taller tree, or a more dumpy tree. That's entirely up to you. Okay, so that's what we've got now. So this part at the top here, we want to be pulling that upwards to create the hook essentially on the top. I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah, there you can. So what we do is we grab it about here and pull it upwards a little bit like so, and then just manipulate the wire a little bit more. Okay, so can you see what I've done there? So we now have a hook to hang it on our ear wire. Okay, you happy with that? Right then, so this is where we bring our beads in. I mean, you know, these are so easy to make. You know, perfect for gifting to friends and family, colleagues, even to sell at kids' craft fairs, you know, at kids' schools and things like that. You could sell these relatively inexpensively to raise money for the kids' school or whatever. So really cute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring my board in, my bead board. Mainly because it's easier to show you all the beads and they're not rolling around on my table. So for these silver guys here, I used, I think these are 9/0s, but my preference is to use the 11/0s for the tree part and 8s for the baubles. Okay, so let's pour some beads out. So all you basically do is you use this part here like a needle just to scoop up your beads. And what you want to be doing is put a few on and literally wind it like a spiral, holding on to the seed beads, wind like a spiral till they get to the top. Okay, and then pop on a bauble, an 8/0, and wind it on. Okay, so that's your first bauble on. What I think the best thing to remember is not to have all of your beads, you know, sort of in a line. So you want to make sure as you're going along that you space them evenly. Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily have the same amount of beads in between each bauble bead. So pop some more on. See what that looks like. Roundy, roundy, round, spin, oops, spin it round in a spiral and see where you're at. So we're about here, so probably put another 3 on and then a gold 8/0 seed bead for the bauble. And we'll see how that looks. Beauty of this is that you can place as many or as little as you like. You don't have to put any on at all. Oh no, take that one off and put a few more seed beads on, I think. A few more green ones. I just don't like the look of them all in a line, I think. So we just put a few more on. Wind. Yep, that looks better. Okay, so this is all you do. So you pop all of your seed beads on and your bauble bead, what I call bauble beads, your 8/0s and your 11/0s, and we'll meet back at the end when you've decorated your tree and we'll go on to the next stage. Okay, so we're back. Hopefully now you've decorated your tree and this is what we have. You want to leave about, let's have a look, 1.5 centimeters, which is about 1/2 inch, give or take, towards the end here, because this part here is where we're going to close it up and make this cute little spiral at the bottom. Okay, so make sure all that your beads, you know, are nice and pushed up, and we'll have a flat edge on there, I think. Sam, I don't think there's a flat edge on there. No, there isn't. So let's just cut a nice flush cut there, and back in with your round nose pliers, and you want to scroll inwards. Okay, so when you're making your spiral, do it inwards towards the center of the tree. Okay, so again, just pop your wire towards the tip of your pliers, and with a nice rolling motion, okay, make a nice little spiral so it's nice and tight against the bead, and then roll it slightly inwards so it all looks neat and tidy, if you can see that. Okay, it's nice and tucked in, nice and neat and tidy underneath the tree. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so the only last thing you need to do is to put an ear wire on. So I make my own, but obviously you can buy these. Open it up, and there's a front and a back to this. I don't know if you can see. So that's the front part and that's the back part. Okay, so pop, so the front bit faces outwards, so because it just looks a bit neater, and pop your ear wire on, and there you have it. I mean, how cute are they? And super easy to make. And there's your pair of stylized Christmas tree earrings. I mean, I love these. Again, like I say, you can make them in all sorts of different colours to match the tree that you've decorated in your home, you know, to match an outfit even. The world's your oyster again, as I always say. So have fun making those, and I'll see you in the next little tutorial for another pair of really cute, easy to make earrings coming right after this. Okay, so the second pair of super quick and easy earrings for Christmas. I thought I'd show you how to make these cute little candy canes. Aren't they sweet? Really, really simple to make and with very, very few materials. So pretty much any beginner can make these. So we'll go through again a quick list of the materials needed, which are really, really easy. And you've probably got them in your stash anyway. I'm going to be using 20 gauge 0.8 millimeter wire. I like this artistic wire because it's a little bit more malleable and good for bending these guys into shape. Usual suspects: flush cutters, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, a ruler just to measure your lengths of wire, and seed beads. So today I'm using silver lined red and silver lined clear, just because I think they look really cute and they catch the light when the sun catches them, or candlelight or whatever. And these are 8/0. Okay, so that's all you need to make these cute little guys. So let's go ahead and see how to make them. Okay, so to make this little guy here, we need around about 4 inches of your silver wire. Okay, make sure that you flush cut both ends, just because it looks a little neater. Okay, so approximately 4 inches, just over 10 centimeters. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is make a tiny little spiral at the end. Okay, so we pop the wire, okay, just at the end of the pliers, and roll it round to make a little spiral, and finish that spiral when the top of the end of the wire essentially is in line with this parallel piece here, top here. Okay, and then basically all I do is just straighten it up with my thumbnail. Not very technical, but it doesn't need to be, does it? Okay, so this is what we have. You see that? And now it's time to put our beads on. Again, super simple. So to make this guy here, you need 7 of the white or silver sections and 6 of the red. Okay, so let's pop these on. So 2 and section 2. That's 2 and 3, 3 and 4. Okay, and then 5, 6. This is the last red section. 6, and then a silver section at the top, white section, whichever beads you're using, just to finish it off at the top. Oops, not going on, is it? There we go. Okay, so this is what we're left with. So 7 of these sections of the white and 6 of the red. Okay, so that's that. The next thing we need to do is to very gently bend with our fingers into a candy cane shape. So with this craft wire is super malleable, so just use your fingers really. Okay, so we're happy enough with that. Just bend it down slightly maybe. Okay, make sure that your beads are pushed upwards. Okay, do we like that? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now we need to make this little end here. So I don't know, cut it perhaps like so, which is, I don't know, 1/4 inch perhaps. You want to make sure that you're not leaving this area too tight, because you're wanting to pop an ear wire into that section there. So when you're bending this section, don't do it too tightly, okay? So take your chain nose and bend this section inwards, okay? So let me get rid of these. Twist it in till you're happy. Okay, yeah, so see we've got a little bit of leeway there. Like I say, you don't want it to be too loose and you don't want it to be too tight. Okay. So how does that look? Super easy. I like these little scrolly bits. Again, you could probably do this with a long head pin, to be fair, and have the head pin at the end if you wanted to. I like spirals, so I quite like the way that looks. So there we have our matching candy canes. The only thing left to do is to pop an ear wire on. I like to do them mirror image with earrings, so I suggest you do that if you like, unless you like them both facing the same way. And pop it in just at the top here, so after the second red section. Just pop it in, and as you can see, it's sort of, because you've left a little bit of a gap, it sits in there quite nicely. And tighten your earring up. Okay, let's do the other one. Again, after the second red section, I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny little gap that you've managed to leave. And it fits in there in between the red and the silver beads. And literally, that's it. These are so cute, so easy to make. And there you have your little candy canes. So have fun making those and let me know how you get on in the comments, and have fun wearing them at Christmas time.